What's up, folks? This is Wistful Deal here, and I have official exciting news. Not just a maybe, not just a plan on 50-50 thing or whatever, but actual concrete news for you all. Now, to get a bit of context, right? So about a month or so ago, I made a video, right, titled in big caps, big announcement, and I guess what I should have done instead was to fully confirm, that I'm doing my own fan project, which I officially am now. But back in that video, I made it kind of a 50-50 thing that I'm just heavily planning on it. And the main reason I kind of did that, right? The main reason I kind of left it as like a maybe, maybe not kind of deal is that a lot of times in the past, right? Especially throughout this channel here, I will say something and fully confirm it and then either not do it, either with a lack of motivation or just, not wanting to do it or whatever. But I can confidently say that with this time around that I am super damn excited for this one around too, because not only is it greenlit, only by me though. No one greenlit it else. No, not James. Freaking no one. Which is kind of a bummer, honestly. Just me. But that's where the goodies lie and stuff, because I have been working, tirelessly on this. Not like so much to, well, overly stressed or whatever, but, just really taking my time with it and everything. And I am super excited for this stuff. And I think that after that post that I made a couple weeks ago of the first cover of Stage Zero of my project, it's like you folks, I mean, kind of rightfully so, but I kind of feel like it's like when I made big announcement and I was like, I may or may not, but I'm heavily thinking on it. It's just more like, okay. It's like that guy with the hoodie or whatever, where it's just like, okay, and James was like, W, man. But, like, since I actually first posted, the first cover of Stage Zero, now everyone's like, oh shit, he's actually doing it. We're baking a pizza. It's like I said before, it's like I may or may not cook a pizza. It's like, okay, he may or may not. But it's like since I like showed that, it's like, oh shit, he's actually gonna do it. He's actually doing it. He's putting in the toppings or some shit. This dude's gonna cook. What? Okay. Let's see how it tastes then. That kind of whole ordeal thing, and I am super confident in saying that not only is this gonna be fully through and everything, but also that it should be done either by sometime next week or the same week of my birthday, next week, within either a week or two, of stage zero here of this project here. Of course, things may change or whatever here, but with the effort that I've been putting in, all of the, time and everything, and, the crafting, if you will, I have been super confident in this, and it's not going to be anything like excuse me, it's not going to be anything like big, like it's going to blow your socks off or whatever, but it's still going to be something grand that I am personally am super damn proud of. And the more I do it, the more I just get more excited or more confident in myself and actually doing it. And I've been overall super damn happy, with how things have been going so far with the project here and everything. And while it may not be my full, complete, utter vision of what I want, it's mostly what I mainly want from it, and I'm mainly okay with that, It may not be picture perfect, but you know what? It's good enough and everything. And the reason I like say, I know that may sound kind of odd, well, it's like, don't you want it to have the inspiration of it being like, the Grand Declined or some of your projects I actually do like and stuff? Well, I do, but the thing is that I don't want to aim too far high. I want to aim high, but I want to be able to hit my target. It's like reaching for the sky. I want to hit a target eventually. Archer, bow and arrow type stuff. I want to reach like for the stars and stuff, but I don't want to just keep aiming higher and higher. I want to eventually hit the nail, hit my target per se. So when I say it's not going to be anything like the Grand Decline or Everywhere at the End of Time or whatever, it's not that like I'm trying to put myself down or whatever. It's just that I'm trying to be kind of realistic in this still, as much as I am excited because and keep in mind this is my first time like ever actually doing legitimate music, not just editing stuff or whatever, but actually doing my own songs or whatever here. And I want to talk a little bit of my project here that I'm gonna go in towards here and what my official ideal plan is here for this here. So I am not going to give the title name just yet, but I have a title, an actual title for it, because even funny enough, when I first did my Stage Zero cover that I did and complete and everything, which took quite a bit of time, and I did need to use some AI to help, not a lot, but mainly for, the proper way of, inspiration, because I want this to feel a bit more, organic and stuff, and if I just left it with AI, just to do everything, then it's like, what the hell is even the point of me doing this in the first place? Why call it my own work if it's just freaking AI doing it for me? Thank you, Connor from Detroit Become Human or something. Cyberlife, some shit, whatever. But anyway, nonetheless and stuff, that took quite a bit of time to work here and stuff, and I'm pretty proud with how that's, came up with so far and how that's been going on and everything. So I'm really happy with that and everything. And also, I mainly am doing my own actual music. I'm not just and I'm doing it like full craft of my own music. I'm not just doing samples with my own little spin on it. I'm actually doing my actual homemade actual music here with this. I'm not doing any samples here because I don't really want to worry about copyright. And plus, I mainly just want to do my own music in the way that I, see fit with it here and everything. There's probably going to be times where I am going to drop some samples in here and there a little bit just to make it easier, or if I really can't find something or figure out something that I'm really satisfied with a certain track, I may just drop in a sample and have my own twist or whatever though. But yeah, so to get into my ideal plan here with this, and I'm gonna, repeat what I said in big announcement here, but since this is actually confirmed, not just a 50-50, but actually confirmed, I'm super happy with this here. So here's my ideal plan of what I have with this here. So Stage Zero, which is going to be coming out very soon, I really say that with confidence this time, not just with what I want, but what I kind of know it's going to happen because I just can't help myself. I swear to God, I'm like Charlie from, I'm like Charlie from Has-Been Hotel. Yeah, yeah, Has-Been Hotel? I'm like Charlie from that Vizzy Pop show. Yeah, it is Has-Been. I can't think straight, folks. Yeah, I'm like Charlie from that freaking hotel with the whole redemption and shit, right? She's all bouncing and shit. She's just so damn excited. It's the same goddamn thing with me, folks, okay? I can't help it. I do this work and I just get more and more happy and more excited with this. Oh, God. Oh, I swear I'm like a kid again with this shit. It's absolutely crazy. Anyway, getting back on track here with this. So at stage zero, so here's my ideal plan. So at stage zero is gonna be it's just all clear music. It may not be the best or whatever, but it's clear music. No distortion, no static, no none of that shit. Just nice, clean, crystal clear music like a glass of water. Hence the cover of my first cover in a stage zero here, whatever, or rather the only cover, kind of symbols it or whatever, because a lot of times, especially in projects and stuff, even in the Grand Decline, even in stage zero of all the grand memories of all the lovely years, which was like an utter shock to me because I swore there was no static in that, but yeah, Dante dropped in static in there. Apparently, he's back from retirement and he's gonna do music again or whatever, but I don't know. It's just it's truly grand, folks, and we're gonna have to wait and see on that. There's another thing that I want to showcase to you, folks, that was also made by Dante Timberwolf that I really been meaning to do. To showcase to you folks here on another project he's did besides all the grand memories of all the lovely years. An audible experience of Central Dementia, something like that, or whatever. I can't remember the full name, but it's basically something like that. I've been meaning to showcase that to you folks here and everything. And I guess he's back at it or whatever. And we just surpassed him in like subscribe numbers. Like today, whatever. I don't know. I'm losing track here with this, but anyway, stage zero is going to be crystal clear music. There's no distortion or whatever. Even in Grand Decline with Visit One, there's like a little bit of static here and there. That's not going to be the case here, with this here. And it's mainly something that I kind of want, so there's no going to be no static, no distortion or anything. And how I set it up here was that I mainly set like words or phrases for each of the stages here. So stage zero is going to be, clearness or purity, like as clear as it can get, and it resembles, you know, everyone today, me, you, freaking everyone, the majority, because it happens before it happens, with dementia and stuff. But with stage one here, that's when things get a bit tricky here and there. Everything's still clear, but that's when the static comes in, and then we're gonna have stage two, which is not only gonna be the sadness and everything, but also the depression side and everything, and that's gonna be a bit more of a personal spin on it with the stuff that I've kind of struggled with and everything, so that's gonna be a bit more of a personal spin on that as well that I plan on having. And then with stage three, it's going to be the last coherence and stuff and everything, things kind of dreamlike and everything with the music and everything. So from stage zero all the way, to stage three is going to be act one. That's my ideal plan and everything is that it's going to be Act One. And Act One, and this is how I digested it too, is that Act One is going to be the not just the clearness, but the main understanding of the world around you and stuff. With Act One and with the music, being mainly coherent and understanding and everything. And then Act Two, which is going to be the post awareness act, as I'm gonna call it. Well, I'm very curious to see how it's gonna go, but I'm really gonna damn try, with it and everything. Well, things are, confusing, gobbled up, and everything. I've said it a million times on the channel here. I think we all know at this point what post awareness is. I don't need to keep rubbing it. We all know what it is, but I'm gonna try. I'm really gonna try with this one here. And then with act three is going to be the main emptiness, or whatever, the void, if you will, the oblivion side of things where there's nothing really happening and it's just calm softness and everything. And I've been thinking I may, again, this is only this side here, so everything that I said before is going to be fully confirmed, but with this side here, I'm not fully sure because I don't really know how the ending's gonna go, and I'm taking this in like small baby steps here, so I can't fully confirm, nor do I want to on this side of things, because I am not fully sure. I have fought that hard, that far, but I don't really Because I'm just taking in baby steps here with this here, like a video game in a sense or whatever. What level one here with this, so around the end game of my project, if you will. I can't decide if I want to do a terminal lucidity. I can't decide if I want to do like a terminal lucidity track similar to what Everywhere at the End of Time ending did, or have it be an actual like stage, like with what all the grand memories of all the lovely years stage 8 did, and with the alternative ending of the Grand Decline. Man, that that alternative ending, man. Ooh, that's just something you don't forget, and I don't expect it to really be that much of a tail joke or that much of a grand thing, but like damn with that, it's truly nuts and everything, with that. Oh man. But yeah, I haven't thought of that fully, on that just yet, of deciding of what I want, or if I just want a cold, winter, death, if you will, of that. I may or may not. I may just end up doing both eventually, possibly, or whatever. Similar to what the artifacts did or whatever. Well, they just did an alternative ending, which was shell shocking to me, because I really was thought that, like, okay, that's just kind of it. That's it. That's all, folks. But no, they did an alternative, which was an alternative take, which was just crazy, whatever. But yeah, and I also thought of possibly doing an afterlife, which is stage 9 in a sense, or whatever, I guess. Something like that, or whatever, or stage 8, something like that. Well, it's heaven or hell, purgatory, something like that. I haven't fully thought of it, and no, again, nor am I trying to, jump ahead or whatever here just yet, because so far I'm all the way back here with stage 0, with this whole thing here, and I'm just overall, I'm just super happy and very more proud of myself that I have been working, not just working towards this, but it's to the point to, well, I am happy with it, like I said, and everything. I have been working really hard on this, and I'm going to do, a listen test, if you will, or whatever, of all the tracks before officially, you know, announcing it or putting it out or whatever, just to make absolute sure that all of the tracks are in the place that I, want them to be, and everything, and how I want those stories to tell and everything. I couldn't be any more proud of myself than this, folks. And I hope you folks are proud with me here on this and everything. Have I have been working with this here. This has truly been one of the biggest stuff that I have been thinking of, and that I have been working towards and everything. And it just feels good, not just with, not just with, like, fully confirming within myself, but to actually do it, and to put, the time in and the effort in or whatever. I know it may sound like a, yeah, kind of good for you thing. I'm very proud of myself from actually doing it, but it just feels very good to me, that how far I've come with this, just with this a little bit and everything. And I am super excited for this, and I have big plans. Again, I'm not going to keep my expectations too high, because I don't want, to be like the Grand Decline 2 or some crap. We're going to make it even bigger and better, like that's not the case here with this here. At least that's not what what my mindset trying to put in, because I'm only a beginner in music with this. This is my legit actual first time actually doing music. So I really hope you folks like it. It's funny. It's like legit cooking. I may have good taste in music, but to actually put the ingredients in per se, and to actually cook, it's kind of a bit nerve wracking. But I'm overall happy with how the music tastes in some sense. And I hope you folks are excited as much as I am. And I just couldn't be any more proud of myself than this. I just couldn't be any more happier than this. And it's very true. I swear I'm like a kid with this stuff. I just want to keep going. I just want to do this stuff, and I am super damn happy with how it turns out and everything. And I'm just about done with this. I legit have 2 tracks left, to do and everything, but I'm still gonna look over everything, before officially, releasing it or whatever, just to make absolute sure. And I'm not setting myself any expectations, too high. I'm not going to set myself up for a date or whatever, by this time or whatever, because I don't really like to do that. I know James does that a lot with his music, but with me, I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. I'm going to do the whole cyberpunk thing until they didn't do that, because of publishers or some shit. But like to say it's going to be ready when it's ready. I'm not going to say it's going to be done within 15 minutes or blah 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 whatever. When it's done, and that's final. And it feels significantly better. I feel that I'm doing that instead of saying by the end of this month of September or the beginning of October we're gonna have this done and stuff. Because not only does that set a timer on it, but it just puts even more stress like on me personally, for me, on like, oh shit, I need to get this done by this, oh god, but like since I'm not having any of that, there's no expiration date, there's no da 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 whatever. I can just take all the damn time I want. And if I end up not doing it, well then I end up not doing it. I end up not making the sandwich, then kind of, oh well, that's kind of more okay-ish in a sense, I feel, because it's like he didn't say when it would be ready, so therefore if he ended up just dropping it, then I guess he just dropped it. It's not like he said it'll be done in 15 minutes. Then it's like, hey, 15 minutes is up, bud. You said you would have it be ready by this time. Why is it not done yet? That kind of thing. But with this first slice of bread, if you will, this first piece, if you will, of the pie, I am very happy with it. And I hope you folks are just as excited as I am, because I am heavily planning on doing more of this stuff. And I can confidently say that I'm probably definitely gonna do more of this stuff. We're not just stopping at stage 0 here, folks. Oh no, we're gonna do act 2 as well. But we're going to do stage 1. We're going to do stage 2, stage 3, 4, 5, 6, the whole shebang. We're doing the whole pizza here, folks. We're doing the whole goddamn pie here. But of course, like all things, you have to start from the very beginning, like with every story. But anyway, that's basically it for this video here, folks. I just wanted to talk to you folks and show you folks my ultimate passion with this and everything. And I'm just super damn proud of myself. And the more I do it, the more I just feel even more good about myself and everything. I'm very glad that I am pushing myself towards this, and that I'm not just like, not just pushing myself, but actually taking my time and everything here with this. No pressure at all. I am super happy with this, and I couldn't be any more proud of myself with this here. And I hope you folks are just as excited as I am within sometime next week or 2 weeks or whatever when stage 0 officially comes out. I truly mean this. When it officially comes out, you folks are gonna see this time. Anyway, that's basically it for this video here, folks. So yeah, with all of that being said and out of the way, thank you folks all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you folks don't miss out on a future video or post that I make in the future. And that you can always be kept up to date with the channel, and everything. And lastly, if you have any requests or suggestions that you want me to go ahead and do, feel free to tell me down in the comments below. But anyway, folks, that's basically all for now. So with all that being said and out of the way, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you all sooner or later. Bye-bye.